Question: ds. Is x greater than 0.3? Condition 1. Whole of x minus square root of 0.3 times whole of x minus 0.3 squared equals 0. Condition 2. Whole of x minus 0.9 times whole of x minus square root of 0.3 equals 0. Solution. Let us solve this DS question using the variable approach. Let us follow the first step of the variable approach by modifying and rechecking the original condition and the question. We are required to verify whether x is greater than 0.3. This is a very important question. Do not forget that the direction of the inequality is reversed with 1 as the standard. From the original condition, we have one variable, x. To match the number of variables with the number of equations, we need one equation. Since conditions 1 and 2 will provide one equation each, D would most likely be the answer. Recall 3 principles and choose D as the most likely answer. Let us take a look at each condition. Condition 1 tells us that whole of x minus square root of 0.3 times whole of x minus 0.3 squared equals 0. This means that x minus square root of 0.3 equals 0, or x minus 0.3 squared equals 0, which gives x equals square root of 0.3 or x equals square root of 0.3 squared. Thus, there are two possibilities. X equals square root of 0.3, which is greater than 0.3. And the answer to the question is x greater than 0.3 is yes, or x equals 0.3 squared, which equals 0.09, which is less than 0.3. And the answer to the question is x greater than 0.3 is no. Thus, we can have both yes and no as the answer. Thus, it is not sufficient by CMT1, which states that you get both yes and no as the answer. It is not sufficient. Condition 2 tells us that whole of x minus 0.9 times whole of x minus square root of 0.3 equals 0. This means that x minus 0.9 equals 0, or x minus square root of 0.3 equals 0, which gives x equals 0.9 or x equals square root of 0.3. Thus, there are two possibilities. X equals 0.9, which is greater than 0.3, and the answer to the question is x greater than 0.3 is yes, or x equals square root of 0.3, which is also greater than 0.3, and the answer to the question is x greater than 0.3 is yes. Thus, in each case, x is greater than 0.3. The answer is a unique yes, so the condition is sufficient according to CMT1, which states that the answer will be in terms of a unique yes or no. Condition 2 alone is sufficient. You should get these questions right to get a score above 49 in GMAT math. Thus, B is the correct answer. Answer B.